Afternoon, ma'am. Officer Chen. Saw you pulled over with the hazards. Everything all right?
Oh, thank you for stopping. I was just trying to call my son. I have a flat tire.
I see it. Are you okay? Need any medical attention?
No, I'm fine. Just a bit embarrassed. I've never changed.
It was almost midnight. 3 men in police uniforms stood at her front door. "Ma'am, we need you to open this door," one of them said. "Police emergency." The woman inside stayed calm. "Emergency? What kind of emergency?" "That's not your concern. Just open up." She looked at her security camera. Something felt wrong. "I don't see any patrol cars outside." The man got annoyed. Okay, sure, you want to verify police at midnight? Just open the door, lady." "I think I should call the station first." His voice turned cold. "You're wasting our time. Open this door now or we're coming in." Marcus Reyes had no idea what he just walked into. In the next 72 hours, his whole crew would be caught. His face would be on every news channel. He would be facing 45 years in federal prison. The quiet woman behind that door was not some scared homeowner. She was federal judge Patricia Williams. She had been a judge for 23 years. She had direct phone lines to every law enforcement agency in her area. She had put away gang leaders and cartel members. Her home security was not just cameras. It was a 12-point system with face recognition and audio recording. It connected straight to the U.S. Marshals. Every second Marcus spent threatening her was being recorded in perfect detail. Before I continue, let me ask you this. Have you ever had someone try to take advantage of you because they thought you were weak? Tell me in the comments. Marcus Reyes and his crew had no idea whose door they were pounding on. Her name was Patricia Ann Williams. People called her the Honorable. She was a federal district court judge. She got that job in 2019. The Senate confirmed her with support from both parties. She went to Howard University School of Law. She graduated near the top of her class in 1996. After that, she spent 6 years as a federal prosecutor. She focused on organized crime cases. Then she worked 8 more years as an assistant U.S. attorney. Out of 847 cases, she won 94% of them. Lawyers called her the architect. She built cases so strong the criminals had no way out. The men at her door did not know any of this. They did not know she had received death threats from 3 different criminal groups. They did not know her home security was designed by former Secret Service agents. They did not know she could silently alert the U.S. Marshals with one button. That Thursday night, Judge Williams was reviewing case files. Her 2 teenage daughters were asleep upstairs. She had no idea 3 men in fake police uniforms were about to make the worst mistake of their lives. Now here is what happened next. Marcus Reyes had been running this scam for 18 months. Until tonight, it had never failed. Marcus was 34 years old. He used to work as a mall security guard. He knew how to look official. He had 3 prior convictions for burglary, fraud, and assault, but he had only served 14 months total because of plea deals. His crew had 2 other members. Derek Simmons was 29. He was the talker. He had been arrested before for identity theft. Anthony Ruiz was 31. He was the muscle. He had a long record that included armed robbery. All 3 were on parole when they showed up at Judge Williams' door. Their method was simple. They would dress as police officers. They would pick wealthy neighborhoods. They would target women living alone or elderly couples. They would knock on doors between 11 p.m. and 2 a.m. They would claim there was an emergency. Once inside, they would rob the place. 11 confirmed home invasions in 14 months. They stole over $340,000 worth of stuff. 1 victim was an elderly widow. They took $47,000 in jewelry from her. She was too scared to report it. Another victim was a retired professor. When he questioned them, Ruiz beat him so badly he ended up in the hospital. They chose Judge Williams' house because it looked like an easy target. Big house, nice neighborhood, woman living alone, no visible security signs. They had no idea who really lived there. Type karma in the comments if you think they got what they deserved. Thursday, October 17th. The time was 11:47 p.m. Judge Williams lived on a quiet street in Montgomery County, Maryland. Her neighbors were lawyers, doctors, and government workers. The houses sat back from the road, tree-lined streets, well lit but private. That night was cool. Most houses were dark. Judge Williams had come home from the courthouse at 7 p.m. Her daughters finished their homework and went to bed by 10. She was in her home office reviewing files for a trial on Monday. Her security system was running. 12 cameras covered every angle. Motion sensors protected the property. A silent alert button connected to the U.S. Marshals. The system recorded everything in high definition with audio. At 11:43 p.m., a black SUV parked 2 houses down. Her cameras captured it. At 11:44 p.m., 3 figures got out. They adjusted their uniforms. At 11:45 p.m., they walked toward her house. Star. Ying in the shadows. At 11:46 p.m., the motion sensors went off. Judge Williams got a silent alert on her phone. She checked her screen. 3 unknown men on her front porch. Their uniforms looked wrong. No marked police car. No dispatch had called ahead. She turned on enhanced recording mode. Then she walked toward the door. If stories like this matter to you, hit subscribe. You do not want to miss what happens next. Judge Williams spoke through the closed door. "What's the emergency?" she asked. "Police matter, ma'am," Ray said. "Need you to step outside." "Which precinct are you from?" "District 4. That was her first clue. District 4 did not exist in her area. She had worked with every precinct in that county. "I don't see a patrol car," she said. "Unmarked vehicle," Reyes replied. "Now open the door." "Can I have your badge numbers?" Reyes gave her some numbers. She knew right away they were fake. Real badge numbers in her county had a different format. "What's your supervisor's name?" she asked. Reyes paused. "Sergeant Johnson." There was no Sergeant Johnson at any local precinct. At 11:48 p.m., just 2 minutes into the conversation, Judge Williams pressed a button on her phone. A silent alert went straight to the U.S. Marshals. They were 6 minutes away. She needed to keep these men talking. "There's been a break-in on your street," Reyes said. "We need to check every home." "Then why aren't other officers checking other homes?" Simmons stepped in. "You're the only one not cooperating." "I just want to follow proper procedure," she said. Reyes got angry. "Open this door or we'll have to assume you're hiding something." "I've called for verification. Please wait." At this point, Ruiz moved to a window. He tried to look inside. Then Reyes said something to his crew. He thought no one could hear him, but the audio system caught every word. "She's stalling. Go around back." Meanwhile, Judge Williams texted her older daughter, "Stay in your room, lock the door, stay silent." Her 17-year-old woke up. She saw the message. She locked herself in with her younger sister. Then she called 911 from the bedroom. Now there were 2 calls for help going out at the same time. The marshals were 3 minutes away. Let me know in the comments, what would you have done in this situation? At 11:54 p.m., things got dangerous. Ruiz went to the back door. He tried to break in. The motion sensors caught everything. Reyes kicked the front door hard, but it did not open. Judge Williams had a reinforced frame. It was built to take hits like that. She moved to her safe room. Yes, she had one. She kept watching the screens. Her alarm status changed to imminent threat. 2 minutes later, everything changed. At 11:56 p.m., 4 vehicles pulled up. No sirens. They came in quiet. 8 U.S. Marshals surrounded the property in 90 seconds. Reyes and Simmons were still at the front door. They did not hear a thing. Ruiz was trapped at the back. Then came the announcement. "U.S. Marshals, drop your weapons on the ground now." Reyes looked shocked. "We are cops, we're police." But the Marshals knew better. They had seen the footage. They knew these men were fake. Simmons tried to run. A Marshal tackled him in seconds. Ruiz pulled out his weapon at the back door. 3 Marshals had guns pointed at him. He put his hands up. 8 minutes, that is all it took from the alert to the arrest. Then Judge Williams opened her front door. The Marshals spoke first. "Judge Williams, are you and your daughters safe?" Reyes heard that word, judge. His face changed. You could see the moment he understood. He had picked the worst possible target. Judge Williams looked at him. "I have everything recorded, every word, every face, every fake badge number." The Marshals searched the crew. They found fake uniforms bought online, fake badges that did not match any real agency, 3 handguns, 2 of them were stolen. 1 had the serial number removed. They searched the SUV. Inside, they found burglary tools. They also found a list of 5 more addresses. Those were their next targets. Here is something good that came from this. Those 5 other families never had to go through what others did. The judge's quick thinking saved them too. Judge Williams checked on her daughters. Both were safe. The older one had stayed calm and protected her sister. Trauma counselors came to help them the next day. 10 minutes earlier, 3 criminals thought they found an easy target. Now they were in handcuffs. Their whole operation was over, and a federal judge had recorded everything they said and did. Type justice in the comments if you think they picked the wrong house. This case became federal right away. Here is why. Threatening a federal judge makes it automatic. The weapons crossed state lines. The pattern of crimes meant they could add more charges, and impersonating federal officers is a separate crime by itself. The investigation moved fast. Judge Williams' footage was clear. Face recognition confirmed who these men were. The SUV had evidence linking them to 11 other home invasions. Cell phone records showed how they planned each robbery. Financial records showed they had stolen over $340,000 in 18 months. 2 more crew members were found and arrested within 48 hours. Then something important happened. Previous victims started coming forward. The news coverage made people feel safe enough to report what happened to them. The elderly widow saw Reyes on TV. "That's him," she said. "That's the one who robbed me." The retired professor saw Ruiz. "He's the one who broke my ribs," while calling himself a police officer. 7 more victims came forward. All of them had been too scared to report it before. The charges were serious. Marcus Reyes faced 23 counts: conspiracy to commit robbery, impersonating law enforcement, threatening a federal official, weapons charges because felons cannot have guns, plus 11 counts of armed robbery from previous crimes. Derek Simmons and Anthony Ruiz faced similar charges. Ruiz got extra charges because he had a violent past. None of them got bail. The judge said they were flight risks. They had fake IDs ready to run. They were dangerous to the community. They might try to scare witnesses. The defense tried different stories. Reyes said, "We were just checking on neighborhood safety." But the audio destroyed that lie. Simmons said, "I didn't know it was illegal." His prior convictions said otherwise. Ruiz stayed quiet. His lawyer knew there was no good defense. The evidence was too strong. The footage was too clear. And the woman they had tried to rob knew exactly how cases like this worked. If you want to see more stories where criminals get what they deserve, hit that subscribe button now. This story is not over yet. The story broke fast. Within 1 hour, local news was running the headline, "Fake Cops Target Federal Judge." Within 3 hours, CNN, MSNBC, and Fox were all covering it. Within 6 hours, the hashtag Judge Williams was trending everywhere. By the next morning, millions of people had seen the story. Why did it spread so fast? It was the perfect justice story. The criminals picked the absolute worst target they could find. There was video footage that proved everything. The judge had amazing credentials that made it even better. People loved it. Comments poured in. "This is the best karma I have ever seen." They thought she was just a scared woman. Surprise. Never mess with someone who puts people like you in prison for a living. Legal experts went on TV. "This is exactly why federal judges have protection." Law enforcement said, "These criminals chose the wrong house." Support came from everywhere. Previous victims felt proud that they came forward. Security companies said they got flooded with calls from people wanting better systems. Other judges started checking their own safety plans. Judge Williams stayed quiet at first. She did not give interviews. Her office said she was focused on her family and her work. She let the evidence speak for itself. The criminals' families tried to defend them. Rey's mother said her son made mistakes, but nobody was buying it. Mistakes? He terrorized elderly people for 18 months. The footage became a symbol. Sometimes the predators pick exactly the wrong prey. Share this video if you think others should see what real justice looks like. Drop a comment telling me what you think of these criminals. Now for the part everyone was waiting for. How much time did they get? Before the trial, prosecutors offered deals. Derek Simmons took his. He agreed to 18 years in federal prison. Marcus Reyes and Anthony Ruiz refused. They decided to go to trial. That was a mistake. The trial was brutal for them. Prosecutors showed 47 hours of footage from different robberies. Victim after victim came to testify. The elderly widow talked about how she could not sleep for months. "I still cannot sleep," she said. The retired professor described being beaten. "He broke my ribs while calling himself an officer of the law." The defense tried everything. They claimed entrapment. The judge rejected it immediately. They said their clients had mental health problems. There was no proof. They tried to get Judge Williams' footage thrown out. It was denied. The footage was legal. The evidence was overwhelming. Judge Williams' cameras had captured faces, voices, and confessions. The SUV contained a target list and stolen property. Phone records showed how they planned all 11 robberies. The money trail showed $340,000 in stolen goods. The jury took only 4 hours. Marcus Reyes, guilty on all 23 counts. Anthony Ruiz, guilty on all 19 counts. Then came sentencing. This is where it really hits. Marcus Reyes got 45 years in federal prison. He cannot even apply for parole for 38 years. He will be an old man if he ever gets out. Anthony Ruiz got 38 years. Derek Simmons got 18 years from his plea deal, all 3M. Must pay back $340,000 to their victims. The sentencing judge had strong words. "You preyed on the vulnerable while wearing the uniform of those who protect them. You violated the sacred trust between law enforcement and citizens. This sentence reflects how serious your betrayal was." 45 years. That is how long Marcus Reyes will spend thinking about the night he knocked on the wrong door. 3 months after sentencing, Judge Williams finally spoke publicly. Her words were powerful. "My daughters could not sleep for weeks," she said. "Every knock on the door became a moment of fear. No one should feel unsafe in their own home." She talked about her work. "I have seen these cases from the bench. Living through one is different. I was able to fight back. I had resources that most victims do not have. I had security. I had connections. I had training." Then she asked a hard question. What about the elderly widow? What about the single mother? What about the professor who was beaten? They did not have what I had. She had a message for other judges. Take your security seriously. These threats are real. She had a message for criminals. The system works. Evidence matters. Justice prevails. She also said what she wanted to change. Better protection for judges. Harsher punishments for people who impersonate officers. More support for home invasion victims. Her final words stuck with people. "They thought I was just a woman alone in a house. They were wrong. I was a woman alone with 23 years of experience putting criminals away. I had professional security. I had a direct line to the U.S. Marshals. Never underestimate who might be on the other side of that door." This case showed a bigger problem. The FBI says there are over 300 police impersonation crimes every year. Most victims are women alone or elderly people. Before this case, most criminals got only 3 to 5 years. Judge Williams could fight back because she had money and resources. Most people do not. After this case, things started to change. More funding went to judge security. A national database now tracks impersonation crimes. But we still have work to do. So let me ask you, should pretending to be a police officer be a federal crime everywhere? Should every person know their rights when someone claims to be law enforcement? Should we protect the people who spend their lives protecting us? Because if we do not fix this problem, if we do not teach people how to verify police, if we do not punish these crimes harshly, then we are just waiting for the next Marcus Reyes, the next scared victim, the next midnight knock that ends badly. Comment below if you believe impersonating police should always mean serious prison time. If you think stories like this matter, hit that subscribe button right now. We are going to keep exposing these criminals. We are going to keep telling these stories. We are going to keep demanding better. This is not just about one robbery crew or one federal judge. It is about every person who hears a knock at their door late at night. It is about trust. It is about safety. It is about justice. See you in the next one.